Hi, welcome back to our second part of our series on building a high-performing team. In the first part of the series, I talked about this model here, the foundation for building high-performing teams. There were three core elements you may recall. Build safety, that's build the emotional safety where people feel safe to speak openly and without fear of judgment. Shared vulnerability, that is the leader being prepared to be open and share not sure, don't know, need help type of thing. And then finally having that focused purpose. And we talked about, at best, a lot of organisations, teams achieve some level of purpose, but they don't really fully perform because they haven't got these elements in place. So like we said, the three-legged stool, we need all three legs to be in place, or in this case the elements, for this to be an effective tool. So in part two, what we said we'd expand this model out and give it a bit more foundation from which you could draw ideas and concepts so that you could actually fully engage with getting the best out of this model. So I've repurposed it in terms of this discussion around the concept of taking the triangles and creating these interlinking circles. So once again, we have build safety, we have the shared vulnerability and purpose. So when they come together, what we end up with is this, what we call the hot spot, if you like. This is where it all comes together in a balanced way and the teams really begin to percolate and start performing. So once we achieve that, we'd say, well, job well done. And it is, really, but what we want to do now is just expand that a little bit further and just give you more food for thought, if you like, around how you get the power out of this model. So what we do now is we consider this, and what we'll do is we'll put a larger circle around that on the outside. And what we can do then is start to link the different components to how we can get this to really work for us. So, for example, if I put a line out here and then break this into three, what we have, and a very easy way to do it around, say, for example, purpose, is having the concept of accountability clear. So if people know what their job is, they know what they're accountable for, they know what others are accountable for, that level of clarity helps them in terms of being able to deliver on that purpose. So I've got an issue, I'm working through that issue, and I know who I need to go and engage with because they're ultimately accountable for this. So they can have that conversation. The next part of it is impactful and meaningful. So what that means is the work that we want to do, and if you engage with any team members and ask them, they'll tell you that they really want to get out there and make a difference. So what they're saying, they want to make an impact and they want their work to be meaningful. Now, we understand there's a lot of tasks that you have to do on a day-to-day basis that don't bring a lot of enrichment, but they need to be done. So we're not talking about that. That's just our daily grind, if you like. What we're talking about is overarching. What are the things that we value in our work? So how are we, for example, are we giving good customer service, and is the customer valuing that service and acknowledging what we contribute? Is our leader actually recognising what we contribute and the manner in which we go about our work? So if we meet those two criteria, impactful and meaningful, then we're going to have a really engaged workforce. The last part of this is, if you think about it, for all of this to work, this whole model to work, there has to be ongoing communication. So all the way through, you have to be continually engaging with your team at multiple levels to ensure that they understand that you're available to help if help's required. If they have problems, they can come to you. And just generally because they know what's going on around them. So if you think about the work environment out there, you have one team, which is probably a cell within multiple teams delivering. They're going to intersect at times, and they're going to have impacts on each other's work. And so keeping that communication going, keeping the clarity about purpose in the forefront of the discussions will always give the best results.